Welcome to the Yukon and North 61. So you might be asking, how is that 6mm arc plan working out? I'm going to tell you. Too much wind sound today to do this out of my truck. And that wind has also created a bit of cold. The winter has suddenly struck us here. And we're getting into December, and the kids are going to be coming home, and we're going to be out bison hunting and all sorts of stuff. But I thought I would keep working on that 6mm arc video. One of my subscribers said something made sense to me. He said, you know, geez, kind of confusing. You've been doing all this work on the 25-06 with your Forbes. That's a light gun. Why don't you just use it? So I thought, all right, I will use that 25-06 as my comparison. So I've been playing with my 25-06 because I only had it working with Alliant powders. So I've had to figure out how to make regular powders like H4831. I've given it a shot. So I finally got it working with H4831. And I've got enough reloader 17. I can still get those 101 grain bullets to 33-36, which is a nice load. And now I've had a lot of experience with the 6 arc. So let's take a look at how those things compare and what I found about my little mini 6 arc, which I quite like. Okay, that's the first 3 shots with just a starting load, 90 LDX. That's 1.25 inches. And my friend here claims that's probably me. That's impossible. He doesn't understand my infallibility. This gun is very easy to shoot. This is the 6mm arc. Okay, that is the Hawa. I guess I was saying Hoa and it's Hawa. That's the Hawa with lever with the 90 grain CX bullets. Those CX bullets seem to shoot well almost whatever powder I put in it. So I got 50 more coming. That's not many, but they seem to shoot the best in that rifle. That's the 90 grain version, and I watched a great video by Frontline Rejects. These CXs really expand well at slow speeds, which is exactly what you want with this rifle. So that's right around 2,900 feet per second. If I try speeding them up, I run out of accuracy. So 2,900 with that bullet is MOA. And it just seems to be shooting better and better, that rifle, as I get more rounds through it. At first, it wasn't very good. But the barrel seems to be smoothing out, so it's doing pretty well right now. So that's a very good group. It's a good enough group anyway for me, for that rifle. So that's 4-shot group. Trying a new load in the 25-06, H4831. I'm trying to get away from my reloader powders, which I have shooting really well in this rifle, but you can't buy them anymore. So let's see. So yeah, I thought they were all going in there nicely. And again, I'm trying to keep that front stud off of the bag. The Hawa's got such a skinny little forend. It's really hard to get in the bags. So that's another struggle. I'm gonna probably have to break down and get one of those pedestals with the really narrow mount that you can dial in. I should really have one for all the shooting that I do, but I cheap out sometimes. I just use big bags. I've been doing it forever. So how do the 25-06 and the 6.75 pound Forbes with the scope compare to the 6mm arc In a 6-pound scoped rifle, maybe even less if I go with a 4-power fixed, I might be able to get that down to closer to 5 3/4 pounds. Pretty amazing. Let's see how they compare. In a little 6-pound rifle, it was scoped. That even that light a rifle, 9 foot-pounds of recoil energy in that 6 arc. Incredibly low number. Really easy to shoot. 25-06 in a slightly heavier 6 3/4 pound rifle, 15.6 foot-pounds, almost twice as much. So if we take a look at the 30-06, 25-06, 6 arc, 9 foot-pounds of energy, half of a 25-06, a third of a 30-06, amazing. But it is low on energy. So at 500 yards, only 785 foot-pounds. In fact, it runs out of 1,000 foot-pounds at about 360 yards with the 90 grain bullets. And the wind drift, it's a little bit worse as well. 25-06, 30-06 is very, very similar. But the 6 arc's a little behind. With 103 grain bullets, it catch up. So what does all this mean? Let's take a look at the conclusions. So conclusions. 6mm arc Howa Mini, carbon stalker, 5-pound rifle. Scoped, you can get it to 6 pounds. In fact, once I've got it all figured out, I'm moving to this little 4-power burris fixed. I'll get it down to 5 3/4 pound. And I've got tally rings coming. So 5 3/4 pounds, easy to shoot, like 9 foot-pounds. It's even easier to shoot than a 243. However, it's not that fast. Yeah, can you get it to the speeds in the Hornady handbook? Probably, but then you're right at the edge of the pressure curve. So loaded normally, say 2,800 feet per second with 90 grain bullets, say 2,700, maybe a little more with 103s. This is not a 500-yard rifle. It's about a 385-yard, 350-yard rifle. That's still amazing. Would I take it to sheep hunting? I don't think I would. And I'll tell you why. Here's my son's sheep. Just got it back from a neighbor who worked it with the beetles. Lovely sheep. We've been chasing these for a long time. And when you're putting so much work into something, what happens if you have a 450-yard shot? Be nice to be able to think about that. I would only take that shot in perfect conditions, but I wouldn't take that shot with the arc. I don't like the energy. I like having a little more energy. So, would I take the 25-06? Absolutely. 25-06 with the right load will keep 1,200 foot-pounds to 500 yards. And that 1,200 foot-pounds I still think is a good number. But because I want to have a bigger scope with either a reticle or dialable, I am a full pound more. So what do I like about the 6 arc? I like the lightweight. I like the shootability. I think this is my old man rifle as I become elderly and start not to want to be kicked around, start not wanting to carry a heavy rifle. I think getting something light and really manageable. This is a rifle I can teach my wife and daughter to shoot really well because you can hit the gongs. You can make long-range hits. The trajectory is pretty good. The accuracy is pretty good. The pointability, shootability is amazing. I really like it, but I might take a caribou hunting. I don't think it's a sheep rifle, but it could be in the right conditions if you are, keep your shots to 300, 325 yards, which is actually a long ways. So I'm really glad I've got it. It's not a great all-around rifle, but it's certainly a nice niche rifle, and it's really fun to shoot. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the 6mm arc. I like it.